Good morning. How are you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Welcome to another live broadcast. Welcome to another episode of Dazed, Confused, and Generally Buggered, which is definitely how I am feeling today. Woken up in a real I think lockdown is starting to take its toll at the moment. But anyway, welcome to a brand new broadcast. Today, as always, we're talking about social media and video and what I can do to answer your questions about either of those things to try and help get your brand out to a wider audience, especially during these difficult times right now that we are all in. It's not easy right now at the moment. It's a strange situation. Businesses and brands really struggling. Obviously, we've kind of come out of a bit of lockdown today, but it's not really. And people are still a bit confused about what's going on and who's going back to work and who isn't. And you know what? The best thing right now for you as a brand and as a business is just to concentrate on what you can do, what you do have control over, and you have control over how much you sell, and you've got control over your actual brand and your business and what kind of benefits you can put out there for your audience to consume so that they become more of a fan about what it is that you do as a brand and as a business. So that's kind of what this is all about, these Q&A sessions every single day to try and help you grow as best as you possibly can as a brand. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes. I run the award-winning visual marketing agency, Perception Studios. We specialize in video, animation, aerial content that really helps brands stand out, specifically on their social media, but it could be website content, it could be documentary style content, it could be short form content, whatever. That's kind of the stuff we create. And then a few years ago, it became quite obvious to me that not everybody is able to go that route straight away. So I wanted to try and help people start creating content no matter what, because content is king. In fact, I think it was Digital Marketing Weekly recently said digital just marketing and content is emperor right now, not just king. It rules over everything because everybody is consuming content at the moment, which I quite like. I like the idea of that. So if you are struggling to make content at the moment, that's what I'm here to help with, especially as I say, a couple of years ago, I just decided I really wanted to help people start making content for free. Everybody's favorite word. So now your ears prick up if you're a brand new listener. Now you're interested because the word free really does create a lot of interest. What can you do yourself that won't cost you a penny? Now, I'm not saying that you'll be able to do everything, but I am saying there are elements within social media that you can do yourself for free. And then you can get somebody in to help you out with the extra bits and pieces that maybe you can't do. But anyway, the Q&As are open. The questions are open. If you want to ask me any questions, whatever platform it is that you're watching on, drop them into the comments right now. I will see them, whether you are on Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. Drop me a message, drop me a question, and I'll do my best to answer them. We've had quite a few come through today, a few on Twitter. We've had a few generally emailed in, and I think there's a few more coming through on Twitter as well at the moment. Good morning to CT, who's watching right now on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. First things first, actually, what I do want to talk to you about today, and it's only going to be a brief subject matter because we do have lots of questions to get through, is actually Twitter. And actually, the fact of the matter is that there are things that are called Twitter hours. I got a few questions yesterday on Twitter after doing the live broadcast, and I was talking a bit about Twitter, from people saying, well, how do I get better engagement? How do I reach out to more people? How do I just make my Twitter actually better than it currently is? And I think there's a really easy way of doing this. Now, I know I go on about actually searching out people who are looking for your help and going into the search bar and searching people out. That is one way of doing it, because every single social media channel has that ability. You are able to search for people on every social media channel. However, not every social media channel that I know of does something that I think is quite special on Twitter, and they are called Twitter hours. Now, this is basically an hour or 30 minutes sometimes where people from a specific sector get together and they chat and they talk about what it is that they do, but they also share what each other does as well. So it's an opportunity to sell, but to also just have a conversation and start being a bit more social on social media. Twitter hours are fantastic. Now, I have a list of all the Twitter hours that I know that are currently taking place. I'm going to get hold of that for you. I think this is the link on my website. I'll find out in a second. But anyway, there are loads and loads of Twitter hours, hundreds of them, that you could go and check out on Twitter and actually start interacting with people on these Twitter hours. For example, some of the questions I got this morning have come through from an hour that I take part in, which is called 11's hour. And basically, between 11 and 12, a bunch of really great businesses get together, have a conversation, and they chat and they share what it is that they do and they share their businesses. And then other people see that content within that Twitter hour and share it with their audiences as well. So you get retweeted out to lots of different businesses. Hopefully, that's kind of the idea behind it. Don't get me wrong, not everybody does the retweet thing. A lot of people will set up their tweets to go programmed into Hootsuite or Buffer or what have you, and it goes out automatically and they never retweet anybody else. And yeah, that's a bit dull and boring because you're not really interacting. You're not doing the most important part of social media, which is what I always talk about. What's that one word? That's right, social. You've got to be social on social media, and Twitter hours really, really help with that. So what I've done is I've just put a link into the comments on all the different channels that are actually broadcasting this live right now. If you are interested in going to take part in any of those Twitter hours, just basically go and hashtag that particular hour, find it, and take part. I'm just putting the link into here as well. There we go. And yeah, that's all that is just a hashtag. Just go and take part in those hours and have some fun. Go and talk to some people and tell them what it is that you do and how you do it, and go from there and just start having a conversation with all the people who are involved. There's lots of different craft businesses, businesses, local businesses, all sorts of stuff. So go check out that list. And I think that's probably one of the best ways I know of improving not only your visibility, because more people will be retweeting your content, but you'll also start doing the most important thing on social media, which is having conversations, start talking to people, building those relationships. You wouldn't just walk up to somebody in the middle of the high street you've never met before, but you've just seen them and you go, "Excuse me, want to get married?" You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go into a gym and expect to walk out looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger after one session. So why would you expect your business and your social media to work in any different way? It's not easy building an audience who give a shit about what you've got to say. It's not easy to sell on social media, but it is possible. But you've got to put in the hard work. If you are not willing to put in the hard work, then you are royally screwed. So start putting in the effort, start putting in that hard work, start talking to people, start being social. And yeah, this is one for all those people who are asking about Twitter, because a lot of people have been asking about Twitter. That is the way to go for, and really, really cool. And you can do it publishing content that you've put anywhere else as well. So if you are a blogger and you go onto maybe your blogging hour, you can talk about your blogs there, but you could also put your content into other Twitter hours and talk about your content there, and then give some advice about how to maybe start blogging as a business, or how to make sure your grammar's correct. If you're a YouTuber and you create content on a specific subject, go into those Twitter hours and start having conversations, and then say, by the way, did you know everybody in this group might be a fan of the Swindon Town Football Club because it is for that local area? Well, I've got some videos that I create that are dedicated to Swindon Town Football Club. Here, go and have a look, and you can put your links in there. So it's not just a way of growing your Twitter audience, but potentially also growing your audience on all your different social media channels where you put in your value. So yeah, that there, for example, CT saying about never done a Twitter hour, definitely going to do it. There are so many out there. That list that I've put up isn't necessarily up to date. It is quite an old list, but just go and see what is live, what's happening, and get involved. Go and talk to people. Go and start doing that most important thing of all, being social on social media, because I think too many people just forget all about it. And that's not really the way to go forward. You've got to stay local. You've got to not stay local. You've got to stay social. Even just quickly check in here. Okay. So yes, there you go. Twitter hours. It's short subject matter, but one I think is probably really valuable to people. And if you've not got that link showing up on your social media screen right now, drop me a DM wherever you want on whatever social media, and I will send it out to you so that you can actually start getting involved on those. Here's a good question actually from CT, sticking to the Twitter side of things. Would you recommend putting that Twitter hour hashtag in the bio? No, because there are so many Twitter hours. If you are running your own Twitter hour and your Twitter hour is quite popular, 100% putting it in there is important. Putting it into the content that you're putting out, yes, you've got to. That's the way it works. What people do will specifically search the Twitter hours that they take part in. So it could be hashtag YouTube Twitter hour, in which case you're taking part in that, and you put that hashtag into the posts that you put out so that people can see it and actually either have a conversation with you and chat, or they retweet the actual content where you're going to publicize your YouTube channel or publicize a specific video that you've done. So yeah, put it into the content, not into your bio. Your bio is small enough as it is that you don't need to be taking it up with extra characters hashtagging a specific business hour, unless that business hour is yours, in which case, yes, definitely use them. I mainly focus on YouTube and Instagram. Need to do all the social media now. Haha. Yes, and yeah, you do, to be honest. I mean, your focus can still be on YouTube. Your main focus can be there. But how are you going to get new people to come to YouTube to see your content? By being active and social on all these other social media channels, getting people to come and see what it is that you do. Even on TikTok now, which is a lot of people are growing massively on things like TikTok. They'll create a piece of content, they'll put out 60 seconds of it, and then bang, at the end, to see the rest of the video, come and see my YouTube channel. And it's just a way of drawing people back into content elsewhere where you feel you've got a better chance of growing your audience. So yeah, absolutely, do lots of different social media channels. And like, for example, with YouTube, you've already got the videos, so you've effectively got the audio. So why could you not take the audio from your video and turn that into a podcast? You don't necessarily always have to put in the extra hard work. You just need to do a bit of work to get the knowledge to be able to do that kind of thing. Hopefully that's given you some food for thought there, CT. Okay, let's have a look at some of the questions. Just quickly check. We've not had any more come through on Twitter. Nothing just yet, but we have had a few. Okay, right. Okay, first question. This is an interesting one. Interesting name as well. Can. Great name. As someone who's lost his drive after finishing college and joining a corporate job, sometimes working until the night, I found my creativity again by creating content on TikTok. Brilliant. And YouTube about my passion. How can I manage both in the long term? Quite easily can. The fact of the matter is that YouTube differs to all of the social media channels. So all of the social media channels, I'm a big fan of you putting as much content as you can out, potentially, as long as you don't completely saturate the channel and piss off your audience. But putting out maybe 4 or 5 pieces of content sometimes a day on a specific channel might not be such a bad thing. And in fact, on Twitter, putting out even more, even better. YouTube differs to all other channels. 1 video a day, maybe 2, is more than enough, because they want to consume lots of other people's content, and your content is going to drop into their subscription feed and they're going to see it. If you overtake their subscription feed with multiple pieces of content, they're going to get pissed off and not watch any of it, rather than just watching 1 piece that has appeared. So concentrate on giving value on that 1 piece of content on YouTube. Now, I don't know whether you're creating content daily on YouTube, but whatever your schedule is, stick to it, but just once a day. You don't need to be creating multiple pieces of content on YouTube. TikTok, on the other hand, you can, but it doesn't have to be perfect content. This is the great thing about TikTok, and this is the great thing about content, full stop, is your content doesn't need to be perfect. It just has to have the element of value that your audience are there to consume and there to get hold of. Now, if you are creating masterpieces for TikTok every single time, then that's going to be more difficult. Maybe try and up the game a little bit and create more of the masterpieces that you're creating. But if you're just creating generalized content like I do on TikTok, then just put out 2 or 3 pieces a day. It's fairly simple to pick up the app and just create something. It's fairly simple to pick up the app and look at what's actually trending at the moment, and maybe make a piece of content around that piece of trending article at the moment. So yeah, don't ever get waylaid completely by the fact that you're posting on 2 channels, and just start thinking about the fact that all you're doing is posting on 2 channels, and one of those only needs 1 piece of content a day maximum, and you might only be creating 3 pieces of content a week to put onto that channel. And so TikTok, you can go to town on it and start creating way more content, just picking up your phone and doing it, just creating something. Not necessarily saying forced ideas out, but ideas will come, but you can just create content. TikTok's just great. And the organic reach on there is massive. No matter what brand or business you're in, there's always an element of value you can give. And if you've planned your content, which we always talk about, then you're onto a winner. Don't forget, whatever channel you're watching on this morning, the comments are open. You can leave a comment, leave a question about social media, about video, about your brand and business, and we'll do our best to answer them this morning. Thank you very much for joining as well. If you're watching on the live at the moment, or if you're watching on the replay, you can still leave your questions and we'll do our best to answer them. Some of these have come through on email this morning, so I'm going to leave my email address scrolling along the bottom there. If you're listening on the podcast later on today, my email address is in the pants. Go and click in the description and you can email me from there instead. Right, on to my next question, coming in from Troy. What is the best way to build brand while working with athletes as a trainer? Brilliant question. If you mean athletes of a high caliber, then strip it right back down again. It comes back to value. What value can you give to people? And especially at the moment, what value can you give to people? And you can create content around all sorts of things, specifically for the beginners just getting started. What can they do to get started, to start training, start doing stuff at home? I don't know whether you are a bodybuilder trainer or just a general fitness trainer, but you will have the knowledge to do both of those things. So making sure people understand as well that as somebody who's looking to get a summer body and get a 6-pack perhaps, then you will be training in a very different way to those people who are lifting heavy weights and wanting to become the next bodybuilder and able to eat all the calories that are put in front of them. So yeah, there's so much value you can put out there, Troy. Just, you've got to think a bit outside the box, start thinking about it a bit more, and actually and thinking about what your audience really need. Think about the pain point. Every business attempts to fix another business's pain point, another person's pain point. What is your pain point? How do I fix it? Brilliant, buy my product. What is my pain point? I want to be able to make phone calls to people I really like and take some great photographs. Apple have a great phone. It means I can take photographs and make phone calls. Brilliant, I'll buy your product. That's it. You're fixing a pain point. So what is the pain point that you're trying to fix? I would probably strip it right back down, go to beginners, start talking to beginners and people who haven't started doing any exercise yet and getting them on that exercise journey, just like I try to get you on the content creation journey. Best way of going about it, trust me. A quick look in the comments, see if anybody else is about at the moment. Not at the moment, but I can see that you're watching, so thank you very much for watching. If you just want to say hello, please do so. I'm more than happy to just say hello to people as well on the stream. Or if you are a brand and a business and you've got a question to ask and you want to come and join me on the stream, you're more than welcome. Come and say hello on the stream. This is the link that you need. I'm just going to put it into the comments right now. Go and click on that link. If you are a brand or a business, you've got maybe a social media question you'd like to ask and you'd like to come live on the stream, talk about your brand and your business, free publicity, and also ask a question, then yeah, come on. Let's do it. Let's have a bit of a chin wag. I'm having a bad start to the day. I'm feeling a bit meh. Talking to other human beings would be a good thing right now. So come and join me if you want to. If you've got a brand or a business and you want to ask some social media questions, let's do this thing. Right, moving on. Asa asking the question. I kind of answered this one yesterday as well. I'm a visual artist that is struggling with the business side of things. Any advice? Okay, right. This is a difficult one. I don't know what part of the business you're struggling with. I'll be honest. I struggle with selling. I'm not a salesperson. I fully love sitting down and helping people as much as I possibly can do to create more content, do stuff themselves, get stuff out there. And I'm more than happy to sit down with a brand and as a business, as a consultant, and do one-to-one sessions. I'm more than happy as a business, as Perception Studios, to sit down with a brand and a business and help them create that content as well, and help them be more creative with it and make it look as good as it possibly can do. But do I sell that? Not really. I should do. So there you go. Yeah, if you're a brand and a business who wants any of that, come and chat to me. I'm more than happy to do one-to-one consultations, or bring my business in completely, and we can help you create your creative content for your brand and your business. But Asa, yeah, everybody has problems, everybody struggles, everybody's learning as they go, and you will eventually get to a point where you are starting to make some money, and then you can reinvest it and you can get other people to help you with certain elements. Not everybody's an accountant, so then you would hire an accountant. Not everybody is a social media expert, so then you would hire a social media expert. Not everybody is a photographer, so then you would hire somebody to take some photos of your products and maybe take some headshots of you so they look great for social media and for your memes and all that kind of stuff. You've got to remember, not everybody's an expert at everything. And when you start out in business, you almost have to be, and you're not. Nobody ever is. Like I say, I am not a salesperson. I know when my business gets to a certain size, I do not want to be the head of my business. I want to be in the creative department because that's what I am good at. I am a creative. I am good at making content. I am probably not the ideal person to run an overall business. So I would get somebody else in to do that. And that doesn't mean you don't still own the business. It just means I am not the best person to be doing it. Just like you might not be the best person to be doing the business side of things within your business. So don't be ashamed to reach out and ask for help. If you've got the money right now, Asa, get out there and start asking people to help you with different elements. If you're not a salesperson, get somebody to do sales. If you're not a business, if you're not an accountant, get somebody to do your accounts. And even take that back into your daily life as well. What's your hourly rate? If you are charging more than, say, like 15 quid an hour, $15 an hour, I think maybe because you were over in America, then get somebody to do the tasks that cost you that much in a day. If you're charging $20 an hour and somebody's charging $15 an hour to do your ironing, then spend that hour making $20, paying out $15 and having an extra $5. It doesn't take a lot of thinking. Because if you do that every single hour of the working day, an 8-hour working day, how much extra money is that? Exactly, an extra $40. Doesn't sound a lot, but then you add that up every single day. It's an extra $200 a week, an extra $800 a month, an extra $9,600 a year. That's not bad, just by the fact that all you're doing is going, I'm going to get somebody to do those tasks while I'm making my $20 an hour. And it's only one task a day. So just think outside the box a little bit, Asa. But yeah, don't be afraid to outsource. Don't be afraid to ask for help in different areas of business. Oh, that was a long one. Carl is asking the question. Oh, okay, then this is a bit of a fun one. What's your favorite day of the week and why? Oh, good question. Okay, my favorite day of the week is probably Monday because it is the start of a brand new week when, well, this craziness. I am a huge advocate of the fact that social media doesn't switch off on a weekend. It works a 7-day week, not a 5-day week. So we have to be publishing content, putting content out for people to consume on a weekend, having fun, all that kind of stuff. But I still think Monday, that fresh start, no matter how bad the week was before, even if you've worked the full 7 days, that Monday, it's like a fresh slate. You're able to start again and just go at it head on and just really make a huge difference. So yeah, Mondays definitely. Sunday nights sometimes obviously a little bit exciting, but Mondays are definitely my favorite day. Sheila Ann saying have a good day. Thank you very much, Sheila. You too. I'm guessing that means you've been watching and you're on your way, but thank you very much for watching, Sheila. Let's have a look at some more of the questions. 11's is hour. So this was actually the person who's running the 11's hour on Twitter asking the question, how do I present things differently rather than the same old wording every single time? Okay, this is a great question. There are so many ways of putting the same message out, but in a different format. So there are apps, and I'm going to show you just a few of the apps that are available. So obviously we have things like Giphy, which can help people, and you can create GIFs of you doing a thumbs up or what have you, and you could share that GIF on your social media channels, all that kind of stuff. Then you've also got different apps like StoryChic. StoryChic is a great little app. Let me just show you there, and it will help you make animated elements for Instagram stories, but obviously those could then be used on Snapchat because it's the same aspect ratio. You've then got apps like Clip-O-Matic, which is one that I've paid for, but it will allow you to create videos with captions on them, and you can put the captions in lots of different places. If I tap there, it brings up lots of different types of captions. And it's available on iOS. I'm not sure if it's on Android yet or not, but there are different versions of the same kind of software on Android. Then you've got things like Ripple, which is there, and you can use Ripple to create content and advertising content and just pure images and things like that. And then you have, for example, Textro, which is really cool. And I think all you do is you take what you're saying on a regular basis, and then you just type it in. So you could type in, "This is the same message as always." You put it how you want it to be seen on screen. So that's how I want it to be seen on screen. I say done, and then I tell it, right, I want to create a text video. So it's just loading that up right now. And it says, what size do I want? I want it to be an Instagram post. So I do that size. And then it makes it for me. It's simple as that. So if I just press play. So there are so many apps out there who can help you create content differently, and those are mostly free. Textro is free. Spark Post as well, which is an Adobe piece of software, completely free. Over, completely free. Clip-O-Matic, $4.99, not really all that expensive. WordSwag allows you to put words over the top of your own images, completely free. There's so many apps out there that will allow you to create content, but with the same message, just in a different way. So start using some of them. Start putting content out on lots of different platforms as well with the same wording. Start trying different stuff with the same wording and see which type actually performs better, because then you know, actually, I should be making more of that particular type of content in those particular colors with that kind of music, because you've done a bit of A/B testing. So hopefully that helps you, 11th hour. Basically, start using some of these amazing apps that are available to you for free. My favorite 4-letter word, but they don't cost you a thing. And you can create some great content and get it out there for people to consume just in a different way. Okay, final question, which comes through from Chris Braley on Twitter, and he's asking, how do you know what hashtags are effective and will lead to engagement of your post on a social media platform? You don't. You can never guarantee a particular hashtag is going to bring you interaction, engagement at all. That's never going to happen. What you can do is use hashtags sensibly to allow you that potential of a better engagement, a potential of more interaction. And so you've got to get sensible with the hashtags that you're using on the content that you're putting out. Now, obviously, different platforms have different amounts of characters that you can use. Instagram allow up to 30 hashtags to be used. Facebook, obviously, you can go to town on it on a piece of content. LinkedIn, you've only got so many characters. Twitter, you've only got so many characters. So you have to be word economic. I think it's probably the wording I'm trying to use with your content. But hashtag-wise, just do a bit of research. Actually start looking at which hashtags are being used well in your industry. And knowing you come from the property industry, Chris, then start looking at, okay, hashtag York properties, hashtag York properties for sale, hashtag York properties for rent, hashtag Yorkshire properties, hashtag Humberside properties. Those kind of things will be stuff that people are searching for on those particular channels. And that way, then it draws you into them as an audience when they're searching for it. So go for smaller, more local hashtags to potentially have engagement locally. And when you put in a hashtag on something like Instagram, it will tell you how often that hashtag is actually being used as well. So you know whether it's a moderate hashtag or a massive hashtag. So some hashtags will have been used millions of times. You don't want too many of those within your hashtag list. Like I say, you can use up to 30, But if you've got an account under 10,000, then seriously use 2 hashtags on there that are over the like the million barrier, because you're more than likely just going to get lost amongst a throng. It's really not very likely that you're going to get seen by anybody on that particular hashtag. Then bring it down a level, use maybe 3 or 4 on hashtags that are like about 100,000, then bring it down another level, use about 10 on the 10,000 level, and then bring it down another level and go for around the 1,000 mark as well, so that you're actually spreading yourself across, but you know where you're aiming yourself. You're actually talking to where there's a chance your audience that people are actually going to be seeing the content. Because just putting it into a massive hashtag, the chances are you're just going to get cannibalized, lost in the throng, because everybody's using it in the hope that they're going to get seen, and it's just probably not going to happen. However, you've put a couple in there so that if you get lots of engagement on your piece of content from the people in the 1,000 and the 10,000 barrier, then the guys at the million will go, well, he's getting a lot of likes and stuff like that. We'll just raise him up a level, raise him up in the level. Oh, you've got 100 likes. Brilliant. We'll bring him to the top and see if anybody likes the content in this particular hashtag as well. So there's always that chance of your content being seen. And if you don't put it in there, there's no chance. That's why I say maybe 2 or 3 max to allow you to potentially be seen, but concentrate on the smaller hashtags. But you can't guarantee it. You simply cannot guarantee which hashtags to use to get engagement. You just have to do a bit of research, see what's being used in your industry, see what's being used locally, and start using those hashtags. Start talking to people more socially as well, and then you'll really be on to a winner. Hopefully that's answered your question, Chris. It's quite a big question, and that's probably the shortest answer I could potentially give on it. So yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed you like that. Right. Okay. Let's have a quick look, see if we've got any questions anywhere else. It doesn't look like it. Looks like everybody has questioned themselves out. We've been going for 31 minutes anyway, which is good. So thank you very much for watching, as always, today. If you are a brand and a business and you would like to chat more about going one-to-one on your content marketing, please feel free to drop me an email below. We can have a chat on the email and organize some time where we can either go on Skype or Zoom and have a one-to-one session trying to help your brand and business get out a little bit further. Also, that's the same for video content as well through Perception Studios. And until tomorrow, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Enjoy your unlimited exercise, which is allowed from today in the UK. I'll still only be going out once or twice with Max just to get him some fresh air and me some fresh air. But yeah, you go and enjoy it. Stay safe, like I say. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 11ish, probably more likely 11:30. Have a good day. Bye.